in the session. I'd like to take a moment to share the disclaimer slide quickly, so if you could just take a peek at that. Great, thank you so much. So welcome everyone, my name is Melissa, and today I'll be guiding you through chair yoga. We will practice together for 30 minutes. So what you'll need is a chair. I really love using a chair that doesn't have arms, just to have a little bit more space to move. It can help me move better into the stretches, but if you are working with a chair that has arms, no biggie, you'll just kind of work around those. But if it is easy to grab a chair that doesn't have the arms, you might want to just do that. And I always love to set an intention before class to listen to your body. So not every pose works for every person. So if we come into a stretch and it's just not working for you, please skip it. You can come on out and you can modify it. So as we start today, I just printed this out the other day. I thought it was so cute. So it's a picture of someone meditating, and as they're sitting there in their calmness and having this Zen moment, there's all these thoughts that come out of their mind. They're like, is this the moment? Am I in the moment? Like, how will I know when I'm in the moment? I have to do this, I have to do that. And I just thought this was just, exactly how probably most of us feel when we come to do yoga, especially at the beginning when we do just a couple minutes of centering to kind of drop into the practice. The mind can be so active and it can wander so much. And that's kind of the nature of the mind. It's designed to do that. So if that is showing up for you today during our time together, I encourage you just to try to release your thoughts and just bring yourself back into the present moment and the present breath. Sometimes when we have a thought, we will kind of get caught up into it and we'll let it snowball like, oh, I'm so bad at this, or I have so many thoughts, or I can't clear my mind. And then that just kind of tumbles out of control as well. So if you do have thoughts, just let them go. Bring yourself back to your breath and to the words and to the stretch. So let's get started in a comfortable seated pose today. So if you'd like, you can scoot towards the edge of your seat, and that will just help you to elongate your spine. Sometimes when we're sitting into the back of the chair, we're kind of rounding our back a little bit. So this will just give you a nice opportunity to engage your core and help you to lengthen your spine. And then just gently closing your eyes and taking a moment for mindfulness. Feel your feet connected to the ground. Feel your knees in line with your heels. Feel your knees in line with your hips. And then feel that the shoulders are over the hips. So we just don't want to be leaning forward or back too much. And then as you're sitting here, let's try to relax our eyebrows, relax your jaw of tension. And then just gently connect to your breath. Notice the rise and the fall of your breath. Lengthen as you inhale and lengthen as you exhale. And then maybe encouraging your exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. And then as you're breathing here, just noticing the 4 parts of the breath. So we often think of the breath as just one part. So we'll notice the inhale, the space to pause, the exhale, and the space to pause. And then noticing how each breath so freely flows one into the next. And then if you'd like, you can set an intention for your practice, and that could be anything. Maybe to try to clear your mind of thoughts, maybe to try to get the best stretch that you can get out of each pose. So let's start with a little bit of a release for our neck. So we are going to start by relaxing our right hand down, just kind of let it dangle down towards the ground, and then draw your right ear to your right shoulder. And then we're just going to breathe here. So this is going to help to open up the muscles on the left side of the neck. And then if you have the side of the chair that you can easily grab onto, maybe you give that a little pull so you can kind of create almost like a little deeper stretch. So as you're kind of pulling yourself into the stretch, you're just going to gently soften your right ear to your right shoulder. And we never want to move with force on this one. It's just a very nice, gentle suggestion. And then let's come on up. We'll just give ourselves a neutral neck. You might be able to feel the difference there, how open it feels and how kind of tense it might feel on the other side. So let's take our gaze off to the right a little bit, and then we're just going to drop our head down. And then this will just help to open up the side of the neck for a moment. And you can have your hand relaxing down here. You can also give a little pull into the chair to deepen that stretch. Good. Let's bring ourselves back into a neutral neck. We'll bring our left hand down, let that relax, and then take your left ear to your left shoulder. You can stay here, maybe grab onto the chair, give yourself a little deeper stretch. And then bring yourself back to neutral. Take a nice full breath here. Let's take our gaze off to the corner of the room, off to the left. And then you can just gently kind of relax your head down. And then here the hand can relax, or you can use your arm and just pull yourself into the stretch a little bit more. And then let's bring ourselves back to a neutral neck here. We're going to interlock our fingers, gently support the back of your head, and then almost create a little sensation like you could press your hands into the back of your head, and then you're pressing your head back into your hands. So you get a little stretch here. And just feel how, as you do that, you can work so many muscles. You can feel those shoulder blades working. You can feel muscles in the back body firing up as well. Great. Let's gently release the hands down. And we're going to circle out our head. So imagine that there was a clock in front of you, and you wanted to run your nose through the numbers on the clock. So we'll just create a really nice rotation here. And then begin to circle in the other direction. We'll just reverse that movement. Good. Let's bring ourselves back to a neutral neck here. Bringing your hands into prayer at the heart space. Let's drop our chin to our chest. We'll try to round through our back body. And then letting heart come forward, and then let our shoulders relax back and down. And then chin to your chest on the exhale. Let's round through the back body. And then heart floats forward, shoulders relax back and down. And then move with your breath here for a moment. Lengthen as you inhale. Lengthen as you exhale. As you inhale, let your shoulders relax from your ears. So create a little space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, round your back. So imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Let's bring ourselves into a neutral side here. Take your hands up towards the sky and bring your right hand and reach for your left wrist. Full breath to lengthen and release your hands to the right. Let's roll that left shoulder back, right shoulder under, and then feel that the heart is shining up towards the sky. Bring yourself back to center. Let's realign here. We'll take our left hand for that right wrist. Let's lengthen and release off towards the left. Try to ground into that right sitting bone and then lengthen through that whole side body, through the arm, through the fingertips. Great. Let's bring ourselves back to center. We'll gently release our hands behind the body and reach for opposite elbows here. So we'll take our right hand for our left elbow, left hand for the right elbow. And maybe imagine that you could squeeze a pencil between the shoulder blades. Changing up the grip in the hand. So if we have our right hand on top, we're just going to shift that to the bottom. And then if the left hand is on the bottom, we're just going to float that right onto the top. Try to relax your shoulders from your ears. Give yourself that nice, deep full in-breath and out-breath. Hands can sweep up towards the sky. Let's take a full breath here. Releasing your hands to the right on the exhale for a seated spinal twist. And then as you're taking your twist, maybe grab onto the back of the chair and then just let that guide you a little deeper into that twist here. So take a nice full in-breath, nice deep full out-breath. Coming back to center, let's realign here. Hands can sweep to the sky, full breath in, and release your hands to the left. And gazing off that left shoulder, just noticing if that helps you move a little deeper into that stretch. Coming back onto the center, let's realign here. We're going to take our hands into the heart space as you exhale. Full breath in here. Let's reach and stretch our hands up. You can take your index finger and your thumb to touch. Release yourself down as you exhale. Reach up, stretch up, and release. Let's go 3 more times here with your breath. Good. As your hands relax down, let's take a shoulder roll. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. Working a little bit with our legs. Let's take our right leg out in front, and we're just going to kick that leg out in front. So we're just going to straighten it, and then we're going to reset to center. Let's straighten it out, and then realign. And let's go with the breath here for a moment. And try to feel that your shoulders are over your hips. We just don't want to be leaning forward or back too much. So try to keep your core engaged through the whole exercise. Good. Let's plant that right foot down. Engage your core. Left leg will straighten out in front. Great. Let's plant our feet down. Give yourself a breath here. Now let's take that knee up into the chest. We're just going to kind of take it up, and then we'll relax that down. So rising up when you're ready, and release. Good. Let's plant the foot down. You can give yourself a breath here. Let's take that leg up on the left. Good. You can gently release the feet down to the ground and gently windshield wiping the knees side to side. So we'll just take the legs out really wide, and then we'll just do a simple drop to the left, and then a little gentle drop to the right. And this is a nice reset for your legs and your hips, and great for your low back. Let's bring ourselves back to stillness, back through center. We're going to realign back into our chair and take your left leg up and over. So we're just going to cross our legs here. You can press your hips up if you want it, just to feel even. We don't want to be leaning to one side or the other too much. Try to feel your shoulders over your hips. Let's take a full breath here, and then let yourself fold down as you exhale, and then gently relax your hands down. And then this stretch is really great for getting into your low back. And this is also nice for the digestive system too. Give a little massage to the internal organs. A little pressure can feel really soothing for the body. Let's put ourselves back on up. Realign. We'll take a full breath here, and let's take our right leg up and over. Again, press up to realign if you need to. Full breath here to lengthen and let yourself come down as you exhale. Maybe doing a little scan here on your body, noticing where you're holding onto tension. And then with each exhale, try to let that tension go. And then gently releasing. We're going to float ourselves back on our to neutral. Let's take those feet nice and wide once again, and then we'll do that windshield wipe of the knees to the right and to the left. Good. Let's come to the edge of our seat. So you may want to try to scoot as far to the edge of the seat as you can. We are going to take our feet out nice and wide here. And as you take your feet out nice and wide, let's have our toes turning out and our heels are shifting in. And then we also want our knees to be pointing in the same direction. So don't have your knees one way, toes the other way. We want to have a really nice, safe alignment for our knees. So we are going to take a nice side stretch here. So let's take our right arm onto our right leg and then bring your left arm up and over. And then roll your left shoulder back a little bit. Right shoulder is rolling under slightly. And then feel that the heart is shining up towards the sky. And then engage in your core. Let's bring ourselves back to center. Left arm lowers, right hand lifts. We'll take a nice deep full breath in here. And then gently rolling that left shoulder under, right shoulder is rolling back, heart is shining up, full breath in and out. Let's take ourselves back and up to a neutral spine. And then we're going to try to hinge at our hips and come forward. So we're going to bring our hands down onto the ground. And this is almost like a wide-legged forward fold here. And we're just going to take a nice full breath. So this is going to be a great hip stretch. And if you can't reach the ground, what you can do is you can bring your arms onto your legs and just let yourself lean forward a little bit. So nice hip opener. And we'll just give ourselves a breath here. So you stay here. Have your arms up on the legs if you wanted. And then if you would like a more stretch, you can bring your hands out in front, coming into almost like a variation of a down dog. So let's get a really nice side stretch on this one. And then we are going to come on out of this one nice and slow. So you can walk your hands on up, engage your core to rise up, and we'll do a windshield wipe of the legs off towards the left and then off towards the right. And we'll come back to a neutral spine. Legs can come together here. And let's bring our hands right on up to the sky. So we'll bring our hands into prayer position and hands can move to the heart as you exhale. Hands will sweep up, so nice full breath in. Exhale, release. 3 more times with your breath. And hands come into the heart space. Let's circle in the other direction. So fingertips up, let your arms stretch out and around. Great. Let's gently release our hands up towards the sky. We are going to reach for opposite elbows here, and then little gentle rocks to the right, and a gentle rock to the left. Come off to the right, and let's pause. Roll your left shoulder under, right shoulder opening, heart is shining to the sky with your breath. Float to center, let's realign, lengthen, and release to the other side. And back onto the center. Let's take ourselves into a fold forward here as you exhale. So you're just going to hinge at your hips and fold down. Maybe bring your hands down onto the ground and relax your head here. For engaging, let's split ourselves back on up to a neutral spine, and we'll make our way up to standing. So if you come on up to stand, let's bring our feet a little wider than our hips, and we'll just take arms side to side. We call this one empty coot sleeves. So this one is a great reset for your body. Just realign your spine, release the tension in the arms and in your legs. Great. Let's come to stillness here, and we are going to try a tree pose. So for tree, If you have no shoes on, that's great, because you'll just bring your foot up on your leg. So you can take your toes on the ground and then have your foot propped up, so a little support. Maybe bring your foot anywhere on the leg. We just don't want to place it right here on the knee joint. So below the knee or above the knee is fine. And if you have shoes on and they're not easy just to kick off, you don't have to put your foot into your leg, but just have it hover just a tiny bit. And if you wanted a little shoulder stretch, let's bring our hands up to the sky, and you can take your hands together in prayer above the head. Let's find one spot to focus on. We'll find a drishti, one spot to focus your concentration, to focus your awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eyes shift at all. Let's release our hands down. We're going to do a reset on our feet. And then as you ground down into your right foot, let's begin to lift that left leg up. Thumbs can reach up as you breathe in if you wanted that shoulder stretch. So on the second side, you don't have to put your foot exactly where you put it the first time. You can make it more challenging if you wanted. Maybe you want to use your hand and draw your foot up way high. So you could try to challenge yourself a little bit more. Since your body knows where you're going, it can be a little easier on the second time, not so foreign. Or maybe you have to back out. Maybe you have an injury on the side and you just have to take it a little easier. Let's release that one. We are going to do a reset on our feet. And let's take our hands out to the sides of the room. So we're going to just kind of flap the arms on the body, reach them out to the sides of the room, and we're going to alternate. So right arm is on top, and then left arm is on top. And then we're just going to do this nice little massage for our back. So as we slap our arms onto our backs, we can give a nice little massage there. Good. Let's release that one. Take a shoulder roll. Take your shoulders up, take them back, and relax them down. Let's bring our hands into a yoga mudra. So from behind, what we're going to do is interlock our fingers, take your palms to touch, and imagine that you could squeeze a pencil between your shoulder blades. So you just want to imagine that those shoulder blades could move towards each other. You can stay here up and standing if you want it. You can fold yourself down, and as you fold over, you can bring your arms on your low back, and you can also release your arms away from your back a little bit. Maybe gaze to the wall behind you. Maybe take your gaze, even trying for that ceiling behind your body. Sometimes as we kind of relax our gaze, it just lets us move deeper. Hands can relax onto your low back. Hands can relax down to the ground, and then we're just going to roll on up through the spine. We'll come up one vertebrae at a time. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. So if you'd like to use your chair for this next one, you can. So what we'll do is we're going to work with a quad stretch, and for our quad stretch, we'll start with our left knee. So you can reach for your chair, have your support here. If you have arms on the chair, you can kind of lean in a little bit. And what we're going to do is reach our left hand for our left foot. So using the chair can be nice because you can just rest your knee right on the top of the chair. And if you're not using the chair like that, you could also kind of have your hand on the chair for a little support. But if you want to give yourself the most stretch and you really want to work all those muscles in your right leg, you can move away from the chair. And we're just going to hold this one and breathe in it. So our quads, they tend to shorten, especially when we're sitting a lot, driving, watching TV at the desk. Our modern lifestyle tends to shorten this muscle and shorten the muscles in the front of the head. So it's always really important to give some quad stretches in yoga to help create a little bit more balance in the front of your body and the back of your body. So I know this one isn't always easy for everybody. It can bring up quite a bit of stretching, but it's definitely a really good pose for your body. And we'll release our left foot down, and then let's try for the right. And as you take it on this side, just notice if the stretch feels very similar. So it may feel very similar on this side to that first side that you worked on. It could also feel very different, especially when we work with our legs and our hips. They're not always symmetrical. You know, our everyday lifestyle, how we hold our phone, we don't think about that, but that actually can affect our hips and our legs. You know, how we always look off to one side to look at a computer screen or something like this. We think that maybe, oh, that would just affect our neck, but it really affects the whole entire body. So when you do these hip stretches, you might say, oh, wow, it's really tight on one side, it's more open on the other side. Let's release this one. And we are just going to shake this one out. So you're going to shake out your hands and you will just shake out your legs. And not really a right or a wrong way to do this one. Just getting the circulation to your fingertips and getting circulation to your toes. So I just wanted to build on that stretch that we just did. So we're going to take that one again. So if you'd like, you can do exactly what we just did, or you can try for a little bit more advanced variation, a dancer pose. So the nice thing that you could do with your chair is if you feel that your chair is not really that big, if you have this really big chair with a big seat, it might be challenging to do it. But if you'd like, you can take your right hand for your right foot. You can hold onto your chair. And then we're going to create a little sensation of kicking our foot into our hand to give ourselves a bit of a back bend. And then if you feel like you don't need the chair at all, you can just step away from your chair and you'll just kick your foot into your hand. Let's try that one for a minute. Try to ground really firmly through your left foot. We'll press through the inside, through the outside. And then notice your body's natural tendency if you tend to roll in and if you tend to roll to the outside of your foot. Let's take that right foot down. Grounding into your right foot. Let's take our left hand for our left foot. And then we're going to try this one on the other side. And sometimes having the support of the chair helps because then we don't have to focus so much on balancing and we can really kick that foot back and up. Give yourself that back bend. And release. Let's lower the foot down. And we are just going to release the arms a bit. So one hand forward, one hand back. We're just going to kind of relax the arms and let them flow forward and back, knowing that there's really no right or wrong way to move. Good. Let's take a couple shoulder rolls here. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. Breathe in, breathe out, and we'll go one more time here. And let's take ourselves back to seated. So we will just set up the same way that we began our practice together today. So you'll just line your chair up and sit back down. Maybe scoot to the edge of your seat. Take your heels in line with knees, knees in line with hips, and shoulders over your hips. Let's close our practice up with a little neck release. So we are going to take our chin to our chest. And take your right ear to your right shoulder. So we're just going to give a nice little side stretch here. Bring yourself back to center, chin to your chest. And then left ear to left shoulder. And then back on through to center, chin to your chest. And then let's begin to circle the head here. So maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles here. And then as you're flowing, maybe close your eyes and really get into the movement of the stretch. So our neck holds so much tension every day when we're gazing down at our phones or maybe looking at the computer can add a lot of tension. So just give yourself this opportunity to release those muscles, to kind of smooth them out a bit. Let's begin to flow in the other direction. Maybe notice if the stretch feels very similar on this side of your body to the first side of the body that we worked on. Let's begin to bring ourselves back to a neutral neck. Gently relax your hands down. We'll take our shoulders up to the ears, create a large circle. Relax your shoulders on the exhale. Breathe in, shoulders up, back, and down. One more time here. Inhale and exhale. Gently relaxing your hands, closing your eyes, and just take a moment here to notice how you feel. Observe your mind, your body in the moment. Feeling your mind relax, calm, and at ease. Feel your body aligned and balanced. Any tension that you came to class with today, just feeling how that's released with breath, with yoga. Letting the eyes open when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining today. It's really great to be here with everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day today. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
Okay, thanks, Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome, Dave. You're welcome, Anne.